Hi there. Hey, live stream. I'm so happy to be here. Things have gotten so good for me. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about how easy it is, just kind of on the heels of all of that. So about a year ago, my heart's beating. That's a good thing. I was watching TV one night, and all of a sudden I felt kind of the energy start to flow. And I paused the TV, and I thought, I really want to goose this up. So I just started breathing and repeating the phrase, everything is always working out for me. Over and over, slowing it down, and the energy kept getting stronger and stronger. And now I get a little overwhelmed, and I would want to stop. But I would say, I need to keep this going. So I would breathe, and I would keep repeating, everything is always working out for me. And I don't know how long I held that, how long I was able to maintain that, but when I decided I couldn't take it anymore, it was just really overwhelming. I got up, and I had the urge to go check my email. I work from home. I'm in real estate. And I opened an email, and it said, hey, Amy, we're moving to Atlanta. We're going to be there this weekend. We like this one house. We don't have a lender yet, so please tell us who you would like us to call. And are you available on Sunday at 11? And I thought, damn, that looks like something I would have written in a journal. Like, that's the easiest thing. And so I emailed back, yes, I'll check on the house. And sure enough, on Sunday, they came into town, and and they bought the house. And I thought, that took like no time and effort on my part. That was the easiest thing I've ever created. That was so much fun. I want more of that. So I've been practicing that a little bit. So not that long ago, I was at an inspection, and I'm driving home, and a friend of mine always texts me about 1:30 in the afternoon and says, hey, you want to meet for lunch? And I always text back, I've already eaten, and I'm doing this other thing. Well, on this particular day, I had not eaten, and so I thought, you know what? I just had that inspired action. I'm going to text my friend and see if she wants to eat. And so I did, and she said, absolutely, I'll meet you at El Matador in 10 minutes, our favorite little Mexican restaurant. And I said, done. So I go there. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're eating cheese dip, and I'm drinking a beer, and the lady next to me at the bar starts talking about real estate. And so I turn and I insert myself into the conversation. And she said, yeah, we're looking for a house. And in this area, blah, 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 blah. And we don't have a lender. Who would you like us to call? So I hand her my phone, and she walks out and calls the girl who was just in the seat. And 30 days later, I close her house. And so I kind of chuckle, and I think, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm eating cheese dip, I'm drinking a beer, and I made like $11,000. I'm like, this is so much fun. But my question about all of this is, in that feeling where I think, wow, that was so easy and so much fun, I get this kind of tee-hee-hee-hee feeling that I would get when I was a kid, when my mom would always say, you get away with everything. And that feels a little squirrely, because even when she would say that when I was a kid, I would think, yeah, but that's kind of how it's supposed to be. I stir it up, and then I get out of trouble, and it's the most exhilarating thing all the time. And so can you help me? I mean, is that squirrely when, like, I manifest something that fast and I go,
Well, we have some questions for you.
Okay.
And contemplating these will bring all of you to a place of empowerment and perhaps inspired action. In the two examples that you offered, the predominant examples that you offered, did it feel to you that the creation was already in the works, and that the role you played in the breathing just put you in a receptive mode?
oh, absolutely.
So are you saying to us that creation feels like rendezvousing
Yes.
more than it feels like creating something?
Yes.
So do you think that you are always in the receptive mode where you rendezvous like that, or are sometimes you not getting away with something?
Sometimes I'm not. Yeah.
But this is a distinction worth making, because in both of the examples that you offered, you see, what we're really talking about, if you can accept these facts, you had already created the income. It was already in your vibrational reality. You had already created the path, the specific path to that income. It also was already in your vibrational reality. The timing of your rendezvousing with it was optional. And that was inspired. Now, it's worth noting that you were watching television when the idea came to you, which was a step of manifestation, to stop and flow and breathe. In other words, so a lot of people would have missed that step. Someone less sensitive, someone less decided to follow the path of least resistance might have missed that then. And then they wonder why they have a harder time and that the outcomes don't work out for them. Where the whole point that we've been making all day today, and you made it more clearly than we could have ever made it with all of the words that we were offering, when you explained that you were following the feeling, and the feeling led to something, which led to something, which led to something, which led to something. That's that path of least resistance that we are talking about. We just want to put out to all of you, at what point are you going to get on your path of least resistance? And in every case, it's easier to get on the path when there's nothing really to think that much about. She went to breathe. She focused on her breathing. She didn't focus on selling a house. She didn't focus on finding someone who wanted to buy a house. If she had jumped in there, she would have started to wobble. If you jumped in there, you would have wobbled. Well, I really don't know where to go today, and should I be doing something more productive? And should I, but you didn't jump in there. You jumped in where it was possible to be wobble-free. And in your sustaining that, the momentum built and built and built until you said, I can't take it anymore. What you meant was the momentum was such that you now had to act. That's what that feeling was. The momentum was such that it was not going to stay in that unresolved, unrealized, unmanifested position. It was bursting within you. That's what that feeling was. Something's got to give. It might as well be me onto my path of least resistance. You all recognize that feeling, don't you? And now you're going to know more clearly than ever before what that feeling is, what it means. What does it mean? What does it feel like when energy starts moving within me? Well, first, it feels like maybe a little relief because I stopped some wobble. And then it feels like ease and contentment and satisfaction. But it won't stay there. The momentum will get such that it will start to feel like interest. It will start to feel like energy moving. It will start to feel like, and then the idea will flow to you. And as the idea flows, if you're wobble free, you will know what the idea is. It won't be nebulous, it won't be mystical, it will be sure, you see. And what's happening, what real step 4 living is, and that's what you're demonstrating there, is that in following your bliss, you get to the point where you just can't miss it. Somebody's talking audibly right next to you about what you do. That's a clue. And you can tell by the way you feel. You're not going to push yourself in where they don't want to be pushed. You could feel the mutual compatibility that was going on between. It was easy the way it unfolded. You didn't have to talk them into anything. In each case, they more or less said to you, you're going to be essential to our closing, but everything else the universe has already taken care of for us. And that's the way powerful, deliberate creation is. In other words, it's always win, 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 win. It's never you getting over on something. The universe is always, always lining up and giving you information about rendezvous. Creating is rendezvousing. Nice to know. Didn't you like that? Didn't you like hearing that from her? Don't you believe it? Don't you recognize those things in yourself? Aren't you finding pieces? Can't you feel a familiarity in that? And now that you've found that familiarity, memory of those things will start to waft into your mind, but even better, new experiences will demonstrate themselves to you to show you that you just got that. And then you'll milk it some more, and you'll milk it some more, and you'll milk it some more. Just beginning to scratch the surface of the potential and possibilities. And we want to speak to that feeling of overwhelmment, because that's what you're managing. Mm-hmm. That's what you're managing. In other words, you can tell when you effort too hard. Esther would be able to feel if she's pushing the limits of her outie too much. She would begin to feel the wobble. Mm-hmm. You would feel the wobble in it. You can feel when you are pushing the limits too far. Just back up a little bit. You can feel. Hands in the clay. Nice.
So good.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.